I don't remember who first suggested the idea. Probably started as a joke.
We should just go up there and arch the big man himself. What's stopping us?
Oh, only the Sovereign, 1,000 crew, and, space.
Now I know what they call you laugh riot.
But Vendetta wasn't laughing. No, he suddenly got this real serious look on his face.
Did he have any other look?
The man was a genuine cyborg!
Welcome to Venture Bros, Venture Bros Podcast. Me, your host, as always, Bryan Dressel. With me, as always, is Graham, Dr. Z, Mason.
Hello. Yep, Dr. Z. I've been fighting with the Ventures for forever.
And Johnny Quest.
Oh, Johnny.
Action Johnny.
Sorry, Action Johnny. I was thinking Venture Brothers
Action
Season 1.
Johnny,
Sorry,
yeah.
my bad. And then, of course, we have Matt, Sergeant Hatred, Dykes.
Oh, boy. Wow. That's the best I can do.
That's great. That was good.
That was...
Careful with that flashlight, bud. Careful where you point that thing.
I honestly felt like Sergeant Hatred had just joined our episode.
I was convinced.
Like,
I was like, wait, where did Matt go?
That was... I thought we had Matt on. Yeah. Matt, clearly, Sergeant Hatred Dykes. I mean, as his nickname has always been.
Right.
Yeah.
Certainly.
I've had that nickname for years.
Starting now has always been.
Well, I mean, starting forever has always been. What are you talking about? I've always called him Sergeant Hatred Dykes. Like, what are you talking about?
Toast!
I've had that nickname since I was 3. Since before this show was on.
Yeah, it's always been his nickname. If anyone out there listening finds these jokes as funny as I do, please let me know. Because it's like my favorite part of every episode, and I think I'm the only one legitimately laughing and not just tolerating me.
And if anyone else wants them to stop, just send a letter to
fucking bad. You only have
to
like
this address that just says
the either 10,
stop.
30, or 15-second forward button right now. just get to the fucking... Just go. Just come on. Just
we
stop.
get it. It's a new nickname every week. We understand.
Yes.
I wonder how many people's Venture Brothers episode, the first like 5 minutes, then just sounds like breakdown.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
But and it's the thing that I love is it's different every time. So you can't just like go 2 minutes or 5 minutes like it.
We're not the dollop here where it's like, oh, you have 10 minutes of plugs in the beginning, so just dump 10 minutes and you can listen to the dollop. Like that's not us.
Yeah.
Because right now, Matt, can you do a quick breakdown of this episode? Can we start talking about it?
Yeah, why not? So,
Best
Ventec Tower.
Ever.
I will do the breakdown if you want talk of me.
This is me talking over Matt.
Bastard.
Gotta say the magic word.
Ventec Tower tries
When you call it out,
I knew you were going to do it. I knew you were going to do it another time. Fuck you. Fucking knew you were going to do that.
What about Ventec Tower, Matt?
yeah. What about Ventec Tower?
It tries to walk away. The end.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
I'll honestly stop this time. You can do it. I'm drinking my coffee. I can't talk while drinking coffee.
If you do it one more time, I swear to God.
He does have a ventriloquist dummy on his lap right now, so...
Ventec Tower
I
tries
won't
to
do it
walk
again, I promise.
Oh, you bastard.
That's it. I'm done. You can do it.
All right.
You know what's funnier than the 4th time, right? The 10th time.
Okay, seriously, go ahead. So we can actually talk about this.
Ventec Tower tries to walk away. I genuinely thought you were going to do it again then. Ventec Tower tries to walk away. The blue Morpho shows up and it turns out that he's actually Vendetta. And he just sort of like jacks into the problem. And we find out that it's the Vendetta is actually dun 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 the Monarch's father.
Whoa.
Or is he though?
Or is he?
Yes. And him and Jonas Venture have a bit of an argument inside this thing for the vast majority of the episode. He's trying to distract him. Blah blah blah. We'll move past all that. Old Team Venture tell Rusty how Jonas created Venturion out of the corpse of the blue Morpho, and how he malfunctioned as well and tried to kill Rusty. And then we find out
Oh yeah.
we found out that Dr. Z who supposedly created Vendetta, actually just found Venturion and reprogrammed it for evil in the best way ever.
Flip.
There, done. I did it.
That was easy. Why would you make that fucking switch? Sorry, go ahead.
I know.
Because he's Dr. Venture.
That's very true.
On the outside as well, Sergeant Hatred is trying to prepare for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and trying to get the Venture float up, which at one point it has a young Rusty Venture flipping off the crowd, which is hilarious. Brok, Red Death, and the Guild Council go to a diner to talk about what to do, basically, and how they got on board Gargantua 1, and how Dr. Venture died. There's, some secrets I learned that, Brok finds out that his entire reason for being recruited into the guild was based on a lie. Dun dun dun.
That's intense.
Yeah, and jumping back into Ventec Tower, Monarch shows up to try and kill the Blue Morpho, which draws his attention, and then the Problem sort of attacks Vendetta, and they both the Problem, Vendetta, Rusty, and the Monarch fly out of the Ventec Tower, which ends up killing Jonas Venture and Vendetta, and the Monarch takes credit for the killing.
And I kicked Dr. Jonas Venture's ass, too.
Yeah, that's it, right? That's everything.
Yeah, that's you did a very good job, because
Yep.
this episode is it's a
Full
lot.
of jam.
Stuffed.
It is stuffed to the gills.
Ends with
Full of jam.
Dr.
It's
Monarch,
packed with jam.
Oh yeah.
Monarch killing both of his dads
Yeah.
in one fell swoop.
So here's I'll jump right into it. Does anybody not think that Rusty and the Monarch are brothers?
No,
I
I
think
think by
it's
this,
pretty
I think that by this point it's becoming really clear. Like especially with the line where he says, "I've got some very potent science."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's very on the nose.
Yeah.
And we've said it before, and we'll continue saying it, because it's the goddamn truth. Dr. Jonas Venture is evil.
Oh, evil as fuck.
Yes.
If you ever thought like, well, he was just like a pompous ass. It's like, no, he is an evil fucking dude.
Yep. So you asked before, why would you even make that button, the good versus evil button? Because he fucking is evil. That's just what he fucking does. The whole thing of creating Venturion is a fucking evil idea.
Oh yeah.
His dead best friend. I know what I'll do. I won't bury them. I'll turn him into a robotic slave.
And
Which the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree
No.
is exactly what Rusty does with all I won't say both. I will say all of his sons.
yeah.
It's like that they're just
I would
kind of
say
evil.
Kinda, but I'd say Rusty is a little bit more bumbling evil. I think the most evil thing he ever did was the Joy Can with powered by an orphan.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
little orphan boy.
An orphan soul. This.
How does,
Which,
oh
if
God,
you
how
go
does
back to
Orpheus-
that season, I think we cracked it in a way that made him slightly less evil.
How does
That's okay.
Orpheus word it though?
I don't remember. It was a long fucking time ago.
And it was a long diatribe. But,
Yeah. But the long and the short of it is, he impregnates the Blue Morpho's wife.
with his potent science.
With his potent science, aka he
slept with her.
He slept with her. And then he convinces the Blue Morpho to have a 4-way gangbang sort of situation with 2 girls, videotapes it, uses said videotape to blackmail him into killing all of the fucking arch nemesis that are causing him any sort of problem.
And getting plutonium.
And get him plutonium because he ran out. He's just the worst fucking dude. And the up until now, there could have been possibly an argument. And now I'll shadow Breaking Bad, where the whole time it's is Walter White doing this for his family or for himself? And some people would go fierily at each other, no, he's a family man, or I couldn't watch the show if he did it for himself. And I'd be like, look at what he does, clearly doing it for himself. And you could honestly have the argument, there's enough there for both sides, and then eventually they go, he did it for himself. And they let a side win. this is that episode. He's just a super scientist and a shitty dad, but he's not a bad guy. And this is the episode's like, oh no, he's a bad fucking dude. All the way up until right fucking now, when he's trying to convince Billy to just kill Vendetta and put his head in his brain.
Yep. He's like, no, I'm a doctor. I signed a Hippocratic oath.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the moment where
Dr. Jonas Venture, I won't even say forgot, but is totally ignoring the Hippocratic oath.
Oh yeah, horrible fucking dude.
And has
but
his
was he
entire
a
life.
medical doctor? Or was he just a doctor,
Science doctor.
like a PhD doctor?
I mean, he definitely has a doctorate in medical science.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't be able to dissect an entire human being and reassemble him into Venturian robotic
I would assume
cybernetic body.
Yeah,
But
I would assume he is a medical doctor, if not a practicing one, has that doctorate.
yeah,
Just maybe not a license to practice.
it should not.
should not.
have one.
So here's a question that I had for you, both of you, actually.
Okay.
Did at any point during this 3-part episode, did you think that Jonas might actually come back as a living character?
I've always thought that if we're ever going to get Dr. Jonas Venture back as a living character in the show, which they definitely leave open at the end of this episode, because OSI takes his head for experiments and stuff.
You're cool with that, right?
Yeah, you're cool with it. If we ever got him back, that's the last season of Venture Brothers. That was always in my head. Like, if we ever gonna finally close the door on any of this stuff, like finally settle the relationship between Rusty and his dad, and now fucking the Monarch and his dad, answer who the boy's mother is. Like, if we're ever gonna go for those answers, we're not getting it to the very end. Is how I've always assumed it. I've never heard them say that. I don't know. I don't have anything to go on. That's just always kind of what it's felt like to me. Like, when we see them show up, it's done.
See, now that I'd never thought of it like that, and now it's just I just had an idea in my head that where it could be he shows up and it's basically Rusty and Malcolm, saying their actual names now. They have to actually team up together to defeat their dad.
I mean, it
in,
would
like,
make
in
sense,
some weird
but
way.
I'm just not sure if this show's ever going to go that way. Like,
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Like, it would be kind of like a cool, but I don't think that's very.
It's not very Venture Brothers, but that's the first thing that popped into my head when you said that it's the last season. It'd be a way of, like, you would round out the characters and sort of settle the whatever reason the Monarch hates Dr. Venture.
Yeah, I
we
feel
don't
like
really know.
Yeah, and like this is really the end of this season's doing like the big overall series plot questions. Like the rest of the season 7 is more self-contained than this one. There's some
Kind of sets up
other
more stuff though. Season 7, it's kind of like setting up new things.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so this is kind of the end of like the series long arcs. The rest of the stuff is all just more season 7 and
beyond.
Yeah.
Definitely and beyond.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, hopefully another 7 seasons worth, because this show just keeps going from strength to strength.
I mean, I'll keep watching as long as they keep making, as long as it
Absolutely.
stays at this quality, which they've proven they can do because they're willing to take their time to do it.
Better every time.
Yeah, they're willing.
I mean,
to
yeah,
take
it
their time.
exceeds the quality each time. I think each season
Yeah.
gets better and better and better. I genuinely think that.
I
Not
might
to say
have
that
argued
season 1 is bad now, but it's like
season 1's not bad by any means. It's just the first episode.
First episode.
Yeah, the crap Turtle Bay episode is not good.
Yeah,
and I know
well,
we've had
count-
people reach out to us and tell us that we're wrong on that one, and I'm not trying to
But
tell
they're
you.
wrong.
Yeah, but I was gonna be nice, but you know what? Fuck you. You're wrong. I'm not telling you not to enjoy it. If you enjoy it, that's great. I just
Yeah.
don't.
I mean, I don't really class that in the series anymore. Like, I'm
Yeah, neither
showing
do I.
like one of my friends. I've showed like some of my friends Venture Brothers. I'm showing my girlfriend it at the moment, and I've avoided that pilot episode because I think if you show them that as the first episode, they're not likely to come back for another one. I think it might be something like
it's a nothing episode.
It's when you get
Yeah.
caught up and you're like, well, what else do we have to watch? I'm like, well, you can watch the Shallow Gravy video, and you can watch the pilot.
yeah.
And then you're like, well, you're already on board. But I think you can watch Shallow Gravy video fucking ever because, jack it. I love that video so much. These are the coats we wear. Sorry, I'll stop. Kind of jumping into like what's actually in the meat of this episode, though, and it is just a lot of fucking answers, which I really, really appreciate. But the reason why this is probably my least favorite of the 3 of the Morphic Trilogy that starts this thing is because it's a little Rise of Skywalker-y, endgame-y, of like, we're going to pack so much into this that some of these moments that should have maybe a little weight get none. The one that bothers me the most, which is strange because he's not that big of a character, but it's still just kind of like a, wait, that just happened, is we find out why Kano doesn't talk. And it happens so fast. He kills
I don't even remember that.
Vendetta. He rips his head off, and he's like, and then he never said another word again. And that's it. That's all you're given. And it's like, but that was like a question for a while. Like, it was like a big thing. And like, even like, Brok asks him, did you kill Dr. Venture? And he doesn't answer, and the answer was no. He killed a guy that he liked. And that's why he stopped talking. It's a big moment, and it's just blown by so fast that, like, maybe they just kind of... Exactly. And, like,
I didn't
maybe they
catch
just
it either.
Decided it's not a big moment anymore. Maybe people don't care about Kano anymore. But I always liked Kano. And I was kind of sad to see that moment just fly by.
Well, I think this episode suffers from the curse of the third part as well. It's that thing of... We've got all this stuff that we want to pack in, and there's like so much set up. It's like the idea of, you know, the sort of general consensus on the original Star Wars trilogy. Star Wars was really good. Empire was better, and then a lot of people think that Return of the Jedi is not as good as the others. I personally prefer Return of the Jedi because I like the ending, but it's because it's that idea of it doesn't satisfy, the ending stuff doesn't satisfy everyone's wants, I suppose, in a weird way. They didn't feel like, you know, this wasn't handled the way they wanted it to, and blah 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 blah. And it's just that way of, because they do pack so much into it, and it is
exactly
very.
What I was gonna say is they tackle a bunch of stuff in this.
Yeah,
I mean, you could easily have done another part and spread it out a little bit longer.
And
like even the original Venture crew, you know, do another episode on them, right? Or string this whole 3 episodes out into a whole season. Though it would be, I would structure it in a different way of, instead of going back to the same, back to the beginning every time. But maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how I would have rather it be delivered. Maybe I just go back to, like, they could have just done it like all this in Gargantua 2, which granted ultimately fucked that season because they didn't know they needed to count it to their episode order, which is always a bit of a bummer. But if they'd done it more like that and just done a movie, like just done the Blue Morpho movie where we're going to answer these questions, we can do an hour and a half, but we don't have to really adhere to time restraints, and they could have taken their time with a little bit more. I think these answers would have been a little bit more satisfying because these are answers to some questions we've had the whole series. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think if they'd have done, I think if they'd have done it as a movie though, it probably wouldn't have been the length of a 3-part episode, because all this in Gargantua 2 was essentially just 2 episodes. And I think in terms of doing it as a movie, is like, it would have been like that length, because you've got to fit it, like scheduling wise, it would be difficult to fit something of like that length in on, you know, like into the scheduling of. No, I get like, what you're saying.
I'm just trying to say, do it in a way where you don't have to try to adhere to that schedule. Like, do it as a big event, like a special event sort of thing. And I think they could have maybe done a little bit more and not had to stay to this, because you watch them without commercials or anything, it's an hour.
Yeah.
It's a little over an hour, but it's like 68, 67 minutes, something like that. So it's not that long. But everything that's in it is good. Like, these are, like I said, some series-long questions that we're getting answers to, which is really cool. Where is Jonas? We got that in here. What happened to Jonas? We got that here. Did he die? Did he not? We got that here. We got so many answers.
Why is it just his head?
Why is it just his head? Oops. My favorite moment.
I love
that. Yeah. Why did you find him like this?
Yep.
Yes, we found him like that. Yes.
But that's the thing, is like everything that's in it is good, and I liked all of it, and it's nothing that actually makes me dislike the episode. I think just because of the way they structured the trilogy by having the first 2 episodes sort of mirror each other, like this is what's happening over here, and while this is going on, this is going on, and then having this have to juggle both of those storylines that took 2 full episodes to do and try to shove them into one, we kind of just lost a little bit of something there. And not, like I said, I'm trying to be as nice as I can because it doesn't bother me that much. I still enjoy it. It's just compared to the first 2 episodes, this one just feels like it's just doing a little too much and not enough time.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, all of this happened.
Yeah.
And it's like you just said, it's like it took all of that to cover up in 2 episodes. And so why not take another episode to do a kind of a two-parter on this part of it as
Yeah.
well. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like this could have used an hour and a half
Yep,
instead of just an hour.
easy.
And it would have been great. I would have loved that as like, a special Venture Brothers feature length. And when they go feature length, they actually mean feature length.
Yeah. Or even two long parts, like two 45-minute parts or something.
And all that said, I still think this is great. I still think it's wonderful. It's just I feel
nothing
like
wrong with the content. It's just wow, you really fucking hit the gas pedal on some of this stuff.
Yeah, and like I said, like the Kano thing, especially like the Monarch's dad being Jonas. Like if you were just looked at your phone at the wrong moment and you missed that line of like I have very potent science, you might have missed that. Like you could still guess because of all the hints throughout the entire fucking series, but the confirmation you could have missed because it's one line and then it moves past.
I mean,
So
it's
like-
definitely something that you have to rewatch to pick up everything. To be fair, the Venture Brothers is something that you have to rewatch, or not necessarily have to, but you get a lot more
I mean, you
about
want
it
to.
if
Yeah,
you
but
do rewatch it. Yeah. I mean,
The
I've
only
lost
thing-
count of how many times I've seen season 1, for example, because I will usually watch it from start to finish multiple times a year.
I mean that's season 3 for me. I've rewatched season 3. I don't even know how many times, and 2 a lot. 1 I think I've rewatched the least. Well, not the least because I rewatch every time the new season comes out, but I don't always go back to 1 for some whatever reason. But the other thing I wanted to bring up in this episode that I feel like almost doesn't get enough justice again is when we finally actually find out who the Blue Morpho is, how he became the Blue Morpho, and then what happened to him as the Blue Morpho. Because we've spent so much time with the Monarch as the Blue Morpho, when we finally get him here, and it's Paul F. Tompkins' character, I forget, I think we have his name here somewhere, Don Fitzcarraldo. It's awesome. If you don't know Fitzcarraldo, you should look it up and then not watch the movie. 'Cause fuck that. But like it's a really cool reveal of who he was and who he ended up being and how we've already spent time with him. It's just all great, and I love the RoboCop aspect of it. Like I love all of it. Like it's really good stuff. I just kind of feel like go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say the RoboCop stuff. They dive even more into in this one as well. Like when he goes back to the home, that is basically completely mimicking the scene in the film where he goes back to his home and he's getting the flashbacks, and it's like almost like shot for shot some of it, like even the dissolve stuff.
And it's great, and I think it's funny and
works.
it's great, and it actually works for an emotional punch too. Like it's very well done. I just feel like because it's done at the end of the episode, it just kind of feels like oh, I guess that's over. Like I was really excited for 2 seconds. Like, oh, we finally figured out who this guy is, and we've actually known who he is the whole time. We've actually spent time with him. He's been around since what, season 2? When he was on the council as just like a shadow head. Like he's been around
3,
a long
I think,
fucking
was
time.
when the first
3?
saw
It
the
might have been 3.
council.
Yeah.
I think it's 3 when you first see the council.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. Like the Blue Morpho, the guy who kills these people, was on the Council of Evil People. Like there's so much cool stuff to grab onto there, but then it just boom, the door just shuts.
Like that could have been easily one full third episode of just following Blue Morpho back history of all the way up until now, and then even come back, like flash back and then flash into this moment of when he lands. And just like all the other episodes are structured, start at the beginning and then start at the end, the same end with him walking in and then the fight and such and such. But
again,
it still works. Yeah, it still works. It's still great, and nothing wrong with the content. It's an amazing backstory, an amazing journey to go through. But it's just we're laying on the gas pedal the whole time throughout this episode.
What have we missed? Like what's something in this thing that like there's just so much. Oh, I know what we missed. Movie night.
Yeah.
Movie night is one of those.
The biggest, the movie night massacre.
Movie night massacre is something. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. It wasn't really brought up before this season, right?
No, it was mentioned second episode, or when I watched it, the first episode, because I had to watch it in the order that you guys recommended. So, Careers in Science,
it's the correct order,
is the first episode for me.
Well, yeah, they mention it with all this in Gargantua too, but they mention, but they don't really go into.
On Gargantua 1, he mentions it because what's his face? Christ, I can't remember his name either. The guy who was the paper boy back then, who was like, it was him and that woman on Gargantua 1. He talks about...
Oh, Bud?
Yeah, Bud Manstrong, that's it.
Boo.
He talks about it to the boys as like, he tells it as a scary story that, you know, Sharky's machine, and they opened the...
Right.
Then someone opens the airlock and they were all vented out.
Shot into space.
So, here, I should rephrase, because I'm not saying they've never mentioned it, because we know what it is, but it's something where it's like, for this much weight to be thrown at it in this episode, it feels like it's been kind of forgotten about.
Right, yeah, because it's not sort of said in in terms of like, this is when Jonas Venture died as well. Thinking
Exactly.
about
Like
it
was just kind of a thing that
throwaway
happened
thing.
that they could latch
Yeah.
onto, and then they did, and that's fine. I mean, Venture Brothers does that all the fucking time. It just felt like for the death of Jonas Venture, like the biggest mystery in the entire show of what the fuck happened to him, it felt kind of like, oh, it was movie night. It's like, oh, I kind of remember that. Was that a big deal? Like, I just thought it was kind of a thing.
And then all of a
Like, I
sudden
know
you
they had to
find
build
out,
Gargantua too.
Yeah. I don't mind it. It's kind of like, it's just one of those, not like taboo subject, but it's like that secret fucking thing that we all, that shared history that only some of us know, that's still kind of dying, like that was that last generation is kind of dying off. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, then we get all of it from Red Death, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Just
but it's
his
that the
storytelling.
thing
Yeah,
with the
that's
movie
awesome.
night. The thing with the movie night thing as well is that when, like we were saying, it's got this much weight attached to it. That thing set off the Pyramid Wars as well, which
Yeah.
we had no idea
Which got
about
Brok
as well
in
in
the
first
whole
place.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's that crazy
that-
sort of
that-
thing of this little
But in
innocuous.
that way, that's
throwaway
kind of why I
thing.
like it. Like watching, like even Red Death. I think Red Death mentions, or maybe Phantom Limb. Somebody calls attention to it. You're like, wow, it's rare that you get to see somebody's
it's
whole
It's
life
Red Dragoon.
Red Dragoon.
before his
Yeah.
eyes to see his whole life was a lie.
Yeah.
And I like that moment. I don't want to miss that. Again, it moves very quickly.
Yeah.
But you can see it. You can see that whole scene at the diner with Red Death, with all of them, and Brok sitting on the end. And as soon as Red Death finishes his story, and Brok has his little interactions, and you just see Brok separate himself from the table and have his own self-realization moment.
Yeah.
And the conversation continues, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's incredible, and I don't think I want to get rid of that by talking about or building up Movie Night Massacre more in some other I think it works as this taboo subject. I think it works as this thing that still not of. I mean, we still, even getting the full story here, we still don't have the full story.
That's true. Yeah, we still don't know for sure if Vendetta pulled it or not.
We have no idea who opens the
Well,
beta.
this is the thing.
I'm-
Yeah, I was going to say we still don't know who actually is responsible.
And I
Who's
would.
Bud? Fucking Bud.
Here's my thing. I will absolutely go on record saying that if it was Vendetta, we would have had that answer.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I will go back to my original answer, which I told Nick well before we even started this podcast. I know who did it. I know who did it, and I'm right. It was Rusty. It was absolutely
wasn't
Rusty.
there.
I'm guessing it was a mistake,
What do you mean? Like the little cowboy guy?
like the little cowboy guy, but I'm guessing it was Rusty.
I see now. I don't think the little cowboy guy was put in there by Rusty because that's what they trip on.
Yeah, he was in the problem the whole time.
Yeah,
When they
no,
opened
no,
the
no.
door.
It falls out of the problem.
Yeah.
They trip on the cowboy guy. Now that thing, that little cowboy guy, wasn't in the problem device.
No,
it
it
was
was
in
in
a
a different system
console
where it
age. I think when they tripped on that, it flew into that console thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm just saying the cowboy thing was an accident, just like when he accidentally pulled the lever and killed everybody. I'm not sure when that happened, but I'm guessing it was Rusty because that just feels like Venture Brothers.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. It could be somebody else, but I'm not, and I'm right.
All right.
And when we get that answer and it's Rusty, remember where you heard it first. Unless you're also saying it, because you're probably all listening like, oh yeah, of course Brian's right. That's clearly the right answer.
But I don't know. I don't get that. I don't think Rusty was even on board because the way he talks about it,
That
like
may be
him
true,
not
too.
knowing,
Yeah,
him not knowing
I never
that.
thought he was. I never placed him on Gargantua 1.
Yeah, him like because he found out that his dad was dead when he was at college.
Yeah, I know Nick said the
We've
same thing.
seen that
and I'm
already.
like, it's still him. He doesn't have to be on there to make it happen. I guarantee you it's him.
Maybe he does it from his phone or something.
Yeah, he does it somehow remotely. I'm guessing it was him.
Or his helper.
Or it was Helper. Fuck those guys. But it wasn't. It was Rusty. You'll see. You'll see. We'll get there. We'll all find that as Rusty together. Except for me, who already knows. What else? Have we missed anything else in this episode? I know there's a ton to talk about. We get the end of Hank ended in the last episode. This one has the great moment of him talking to Dean, and Dean tries to catch him up. He's like, "Whoa, that's a lot."
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, Hank in that moment
That's
is the
my-
audience a little bit.
Yeah.
I think.
And even watching this with my wife Chewy, she got to the moment she's like, "He's right. This is a lot."
I mean, there's that fantastic flashback of Dr. Z talking about how he
Yeah.
Yep.
created Vendetta. You know,
The
his whole
Made him
thing
evil.
is so good. Yeah, just
So good.
literally takes the back off and be like, "There's a real life guy in there. So I reprogrammed to be evil." Click.
Yeah. Yeah, the rest of it, it's great. But I think we've talked about pretty much everything we can. We've speculated a little about the future. I think it's time for our best Venture Brothers-esque moment. Thank you, Graham.
And I'll jump right in. I mean,
Go for it.
we basically just talked about it. It's that moment when Sergeant Hatred and Dean are trying to catch Hank up with everything that's happening. It's like but I want to meet Grandpa. It's like, well, it's only its head. Okay, that gives me pause. Still, zombie Grandpa head. It ain't safe. Grandpa's head thought that he was your house, and he tried to run away. Yeah, and then Blue Robot came down from the sky in his magic car and made Grandpa stop. It's like, okay, that's a lot. Yeah, and it's wonderful. And I love how even though Dean knows what magic is and science is and knows what a flying car is, it's like he calls it a flying magic car. And it's like, I love you, Dean.
Yep. Mine comes from something that I promised last week we'd talk about this week, and we fucking didn't because there's so much to talk about this episode. And we really covered it last week. So, I'm sorry we didn't bring it up, but, listen to last week if you want to talk about it. And that's when Dr. O has predicted that Action Man would have a stroke, and he does. It just goes toast. But that's not what I'm talking about. For me, it's when they're like, we need to get him out of this building, and they use the shrink ray gun.
Oh,
and
man.
they shrink him down. They all creep out of the building because the door's been blocked. And Pete's got to shoot them to get them bigger so they can get in a taxi or something and get Action Man to the hospital. It's not his first or his last coma. He'll be fine. And he misses. And he hits a fucking cockroach. And the cockroach is huge. So then Dr. O decides to tell the cockroach to take them to the hospital. And the old school Venture Brothers teams just hops on board and goes. And you just hear Pete go, they just got on like it was nothing. Like they've done it before.
They didn't even hesitate. Like they've done that before.
Perfect Venture Brothers moment.
I mean, I thought you were going to use mine. And mine is just one line, which I can't imagine any other series you would have this line. And it's around that sort of thing where they're trying to get Rodney out. And it's Colonel Gentleman going, Count Chocula! That was a really bad impersonation.
What do you mean? It's like he was here.
Just like Sergeant Hatred.
Seriously, you need to go into impressions for a living. We got Sergeant Hatred. We've got Colonel Gentleman.
I mean, Venture Brothers can save a lot of money on a cast.
Yeah.
'Cause they'll just hire you
Yeah.
to do all of the voices.
They're
I'm going
perfect.
to try and do it in the Colonel Gentleman voice. I'm just going to.
Good luck.
Yeah,
It's gonna
I
be great.
know.
Try again.
I can do one word for definite.
What's the one word?
It's not a word that you're going to use during this, though.
No, please. No, I want to hear the word. What's the word?
No, it is a word it's a word from from the quote, so you will hear it. But it's where he goes, Count Chocula, use your voodoo to teleport him. That's awful.
I don't know which word it was.
I think it was voodoo.
Voodoo.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it. I mean, it was perfect. What am I talking about?
Just the
Nailed
way
it.
though, that, like I can't imagine any other TV shows where you'd
Use your
hear the
voodoo.
line,
Oh,
Count
no, that is
Chocula, use your voodoo to teleport him.
I just like that he calls him Count Chocula.
Yeah.
And he can't teleport. I mean, that's just,
Seriously.
And then the follow-up
I've
line
mentioned
from Doctor was
before,
like,
a
I
spin-off
can't
show
do
of the
it.
original
I'm
Venture
not
Crew.
into-
I'm into it. Just like a fucking like an odd couple sort of
season,
thing. Like
yeah.
just them living in their house together. I'm so into it.
That would be awesome.
But I don't think there'll ever be a spin-off of Venture Brothers.
he killed a baby. It was a werewolf.
Right.
I thought it was a damn ocelot, okay?
Thank you
Here's
for
the thing.
thank you for
Rodney
protecting me
killed a
from a
baby.
weak crying baby.
Oh, so good.
Colonel Gentleman is terrible.
He is.
And wonderful. But terrible.
Everyone is, except for Dr. Venture, obviously, everyone is better than Action Man. It's like Dr. Venture is the worst, and then Action Man. Not today, Rusty. Not today. Holy shit.
See, you know what? I can say the bloody line of, Rodney killing Rodney killed a baby. I can do that one in Colonel Gentleman's voice easily. I can't do this quote for some bizarre reason. Rodney killed a baby. Oh, thank you, Rodney, for saving me from a wee crying baby.
That one is much better. Like, much
know.
better.
I think it's because he's shouting in my quote, and it's very difficult to do an impression of someone
Yeah,
shouting.
that's true.
True.
All right, we need to move into plugs because I just heard my son get home and he's losing his mind. So that sounds like an excellent time to do some plugs. I will plug the same man last week. Tune into After the Hype in the month of February, where we'll be jumping into all the films, and by all the films, I mean 4 of them, of Joe Dante.
Jump.
And we're talking Gremlins 2 at some point. I'm really excited to talk about that and other ones. Maybe The Burbs, maybe not The Burbs.
I like the Burbs.
I like The Burbs too, but I think we've already kind of covered it in a battle episode, so I'm not sure if I want to go back into The Burbs, but I really like The Burbs. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. So much we can do. I know one of them will be Matinee, because I fucking love Matinee. Any John Goodman role is good for me. Matt, what are you plugging? Doctor Who article?
No.
Ooh,
I
love that.
love Doctor Who, right?
Oh, man, Doctor
I'm
Who.
so excited to read
I mean,
about it.
Matt's really got his finger on the pulse of Doctor Who
Oh,
out
yeah.
there.
I mean, he's British. That's all it takes, right?
Definitely
Fuck.
closer.
You. Fuck you. No.
He's going to write like a 1-word, like 2-word article for Doctor Who. Like, of all the photos and stuff, it's going to be fuck Bryan.
Yeah, I might do that one actually.
Yeah, I'll
I
be sure to
genuinely
follow.
might do that now, actually, as a joke. As a little in-joke for anyone who's listened to this podcast, there will be a Doctor Who article will go up, but it's like the history of Doctor Who, and it will just say, fuck Bryan.
See attached. And then quote this podcast. Please do that.
That's really tempting, actually.
Seriously,
no,
any other movies you want to cover coming up soon?
yeah, there's quite a few. I was sort of looking at, like, Empire Strikes Back's 40 years old, but I don't know whether I want to cover that. Whether I would rather do that in a Star Wars article in a few years' time or something. When that hits some sort of, when the original Star Wars film itself hits some sort of major milestone, and cover the whole thing.
We get what, 2 years, then it hits 45.
Yeah, that's what I'm sort of thinking. Because it's really weird as well, because I've not covered the first Star Wars film, so it'd be kind of like covering the second one. It'd be like because Gremlins 2 is 30 years old this year. It'd be like if I just wrote an article about Gremlins 2. I've not done one about Gremlins 1.
I'd be fine with that because Gremlins 2 is awesome. I was just talking about it.
It is awesome. But yeah, there's a few things that are like the hitting milestones. Like I mentioned it last week. Heat is 25 years old. The first Bad Boys film is 25 years old, and I really do enjoy it. I think it was one of the last sort of like buddy cop films of that era that was very much like the rest of them.
Right.
What else is there? There's quite a few things. There's like a few TV series. The original series of The Equalizer with Edward Woodward is 35 years old, and I absolutely love
the
that
Denzel
show.
Washington movie?
No,
Interesting.
the one with Edward Woodward, the TV
Actually,
series.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington.
Got it.
I actually enjoyed that movie. Is that wrong?
No, I enjoyed it as well. I
It
did
wasn't
quite
great,
enjoy
but it was
them.
fun.
Yeah, it's not anywhere near as good as the TV series because nobody's as good as Edward Woodward.
Denzel Washington.
No. He does not. He does not lose it like Edward Woodward does in the original series.
That's okay. I'll give you that much, but Denzel Washington. I think I just won the argument.
Denzel.
Still no.
Denzel.
D-Dubs,
No.
as I call him.
Stop. All right, I think we should say goodbye. We've been talking for a little while. Thank you so much for listening to the Morphic Trilogy. Sorry for the huge break between episodes 1 and 2. Spanakopita happened. We got Spanakopita
The curse.
hard. We'll be jumping into the rest of season 7 next week, where it definitely takes a big gear shift and turns into more of a standard Venture Brothers season, and I'm really excited to talk about it because we get some really good Monster of the Week episodes. We get a really fun fucking Eyes Wide Shut-esque episode that's just insane.
Oh my god.
More
cartoon nudity.
Oh my god, I love cartoon nudity. And nothing says cartoon nudity like a man washing his balls in a fountain. Nice and close. I'm so excited. Yeah, great season though. I'm very excited to jump into all of it. So thank you very much for listening. And bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.